Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe football show. I hope you can all hear me. I hope you're all fantastically well. So I wanted to do a bit of a reaction, really, to the absolute joke of a decision that was made today by the FA, by the Football Association, to upheld the referee Craig Pawson's decision to give Pascal Struijk a red card. We've also got some Calvin Phillips news as well, which seems to be it is really exciting news. But I honestly cannot quite believe the decision by the Football Association this afternoon to uphold the red card that was given incorrectly to Pascal Struijk. We'll get into it in a little bit more detail. Keep your comments coming in. Please smash a like on the video if you can as well. Subscribe to the channel and, of course, hit that notification bell. It begs the question, had this been done the other way around, would Virgil van Dijk, for example, if he made a challenge on, let's say, I don't know, Rafinha, and a similar sort of situation arose, would the decision have been upheld or would it have been rescinded? I go back to the Heung-min Son Gomez situation that happened back in 2019 when Heung-min Son made a challenge and didn't get the ball, by the way. Let's just factor that in as well. That's a key part of this. Didn't get the ball and was given a red card on the field of play. Heung-min Son was in tears, visible tears, very upset, naturally. And was given a red card. It then went to the FA. They appealed the decision and it got overturned. Okay. Tottenham at the time, one of the top six, one of the super six, one of the elite clubs within the Premier League. So it makes you think, well, surely if they turned over Heung-min Son, then surely they will turn over Pascal Struijk. But being a Leeds United fan, we know this isn't going to be the case. We know this isn't going to be the case. We knew this wasn't going to be the case. But you live in hope, don't you? And I remember the song we used to sing, F off to the Football League. I think we need to change that up. F off to the Premier League. I honestly am not surprised, really. I don't think any of us are. It means Pascal Struijk's now going to get a 3-game ban, which isn't great as well because he's going to miss a handful of games. Newcastle on Friday, Fulham in the League Cup, and West Ham at home. So he's going to miss 2 key Premier League fixtures, really, Newcastle away and West Ham at home. We need to get wins on the board. We're light in the centre-back area anyway. You know, Llorente's out, Cox out. Now Pascal's got a 3-game ban. It's a joke. It's a joke. And I really am perplexed as to why this has been upheld. You know, Harvey Elliott himself was saying prior to even we heard about a decision, it wasn't Pascal's fault. You know, these things happen in football. Don't worry about it. You know, that kind of vibe. He's held himself in such high regard for me, and he will always get a positive, you know, welcoming and response from me as a Leeds United fan. You know, Gary Lineker has come out and said very magnanimous and right. Well played, Harvey. You know, it is a touch of class from Harvey Elliott. I'll show you, if anyone hasn't seen what Harvey Elliott's had to say in response to this. Basically, you can see there, Sky Sports have put on Instagram that Leeds United had lost their appeal against Pascal Struijk's red card, and he'll miss the games Newcastle, Fulham and West Ham. And he has responded and said, look, I'm sorry to hear about this. I think it's wrong. But it'll soon blow over, brother, and you'll be back in no time smashing it again. Keep positive. Keep positive, he says. But that's from the player that's in hospital, that's going to have to go through surgery, that was on the end of the challenge. What further proof do you need? What further proof do you need that there was no intent? That, let's not forget as well, Craig Pawson didn't even give a foul. He didn't even give a foul. I was there in the ground. People watched on TV. The game played on. The only reason it got stopped was because Mohamed Salah reacted in the way that he did, rightly so. If Mo Salah wasn't even close, the game would have gone on even further. It's good that Mo Salah was there, to be able to react to it. He waved them on. He walked away with his head in his hands because obviously at the time, Harvey Elliott's legs the other way, his ankle's the other way. He's dislocated his ankle. We all thought it was a break. We all knew something serious was happening. But Craig Pawson didn't even give guys a free kick, right? And the frustrating thing is the guy's coming out. He's lying, by the way. He's lying. That needs to be looked into because he's lying. He said that he was always going to give a red card. That's what Craig Pawson said. He was always going to give a red card. How? When you didn't even blow for a foul? How is that accepted? How is that accepted by the FA? By anybody? If he comes to me and says, I was always going to give a red card, I would say, you're lying. The reason you're lying is because you didn't even blow for a foul. So it's not, you were never given a red card. The reason you gave a red card is because Jurgen Klopp came on the pitch, whispered sweet nothings into his ear. He was pressurised into the decision. Harvey Elliott's ankle's like this, and he's gone, yeah, red card. VAR apparently haven't even seen an obvious error. But it's him saying to this board, he told the FA that he was always going to give a red card despite him failing to award a foul initially. That's insane in itself. How can you give someone a red card when you haven't even blown up? When you haven't even blown for a foul? It's a joke. It is a joke, Apparently the incident was checked by VAR and they ruled there was no clear or obvious error. Okay, fair enough. But I think I understand that, why they haven't overturned his decision, okay, at the time. But when you have 48 hours to look back at the footage, see the challenge, which was a good challenge, all we're hearing from ex-pros, people that have played the game, fans that watch the game, apart from a few idiots, that are just ramming home and double downing on their thoughts, they're idiots. That's what they are. They're idiots, But considering all that information, the fact that Craig Pawson didn't give a foul, you would think common sense would prevail and they would say, okay, we got this one wrong. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Maybe change it to a yellow card so that it's still on his record, but not a red. I feel sorry for Pascal. Both players, really. Harvey Elliott, obviously, in hospital, needs to go to surgery. Pascal's got himself in a situation that didn't need to, and it's poor. It's poor from the FA. And from Craig Pawson, 100%. We've had Everton fans come out. Everton Blue Army on Twitter, really feel for Pascal Struijk about Leeds. I know Everton fans harp on about it a lot, but given Son's red card on Andre Gomez was rescinded, then surely this one should be too. It feels like the rules are never consistent in the Premier League. And that's why I think I have cause to say, had this been the other way around, had this been on Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, Virgil van Dijk, Harry Kane, would the decision still be the same? No, I wouldn't. They'd have had the red card rescinded for sure. And just to make matters worse, when you actually see the Heung-min Son one, which I'm going to share with you now, guys, like Heung-min Son doesn't even get the ball. Like, check the clip. When he makes the challenge, he doesn't even get the ball, right? He's not got the ball. He's nowhere near it. That's a yellow card. He was given a red, okay? It was then rescinded. Is it because Heung-min Son cried? Is that why? Like, what I don't understand as a fan is how Son can have his rescinded when he hasn't even made contact with the ball. Whereas Pascal Struijk has scooped the ball, and unfortunately for both players, his trailing leg has then caught Harvey Elliott, and it's twisted. I don't see how there is a difference there. There is a difference there. One didn't get the ball. One got the ball. So logic would tell you, well, he got the ball, so therefore we're going to have to rescind that, because we rescinded Sons and he didn't even get the ball. He was nowhere close to the ball. But no, wasn't to be the case. It wasn't a red at the time, wasn't even a foul. Craig Pawson didn't deem it a foul. He didn't deem it a foul. Yet he's telling them he was always going to give a red. And it just calls everything into question. Everything into question. I mean, look at the state of these, right? Look at the state of these. And this is what's even more frustrating as a Leeds United fan. This is from Leeds All Over on Twitter, sharing some images. Like that one there, Ashley Barnes on Stuart Dallas, that was checked by VAR and not even deemed a foul. Not even deemed a foul, guys. They're in midair. Let's not forget that. So what we're saying is, by logic, is if you break someone's ankle, then maybe we'll talk about it. If you dislocate someone's shoulder, then maybe we'll talk about it. But if not, then we're gonna let it slide. We're gonna let it slide. Look at the state of that challenge. And VAR checked that and didn't even give anything for it. Yet poor Pascal, who has won the ball fairly with a great challenge, the referee didn't even blow for a foul. Bear in mind, the ref blew for a foul for this one. You know, it's a joke, guys. It's a joke. Some more of them as well. I mean, there's the Fernandinho one on Rafinha, which put him out for weeks. And then this one from Baldock on Tyler Roberts. Remember that one? You know, this one wasn't even given. If I remember rightly, this one wasn't even given. Look at the state of that. And then you've got a situation where Pascal, and I keep coming back to it, Pascal, it wasn't even a foul on the field of play. Yet the referee and the FA have decided to uphold the red card. I think it's mad. You know, Adam Pope said, look, this is from the referee Craig Pawson, who did not award a foul initially. He's understood to have told the FA it was his decision to issue the red card. No, it wasn't. It was Jurgen Klopp's. VAR checks appear to claim no clear and obvious error, which I can understand. Okay, it could be conceived as a foul. On another day, you might get a yellow, but not a red. And he didn't even blow up for a foul. He was happy to let it go. And maybe this new ruling of letting things go, which I'm in support of, if it's going to have situations like this, then it's pointless. You know, Phil Hayes said his piece, you know, he said, all I'm saying is the on-field decision at the time was no foul and to play on. Yet now we're being told the red was right to be given and it's going to be upheld and he's going to miss 3 games. It is a madness, genuinely. I think it's crazy. Let's get to some of your comments. I'll try to keep them clean. Andy, member says, let's not kid ourselves. This was never going to be overturned. It begs the question, if anybody who makes that sort of challenge gets a red card, irrespective of if the opposition player is injured or not. This is the thing, isn't it? This is the thing. It's not a foul, though. This is what I'm saying. I don't understand how, because of the outcome, it doesn't make sense to me, because you can get hurt by anything. I could stub my toe and break my foot. Do you know what I mean? It's innocuous. You have many innocuous challenges during 90 minutes. During 90 minutes. And anything can happen. Freak accidents. Freak accidents. And then we're saying, oh, well, sorry. Although, you know, it was a nothing challenge, he has broke his fibia, so we're now going to give you a red card. It just doesn't make sense to me. Nicholas Griffin says it's weak by the FA to back the on-field decision. I agree. Of course they're going to do that. You lived in hope, though. You lived in hope with the Suns situation, who, again, I'll bring it back, didn't get the ball. Didn't get the ball. Didn't get the ball. And had it rescinded. Probably reduced to a yellow card, maybe. It's mad. It is. It's really got me, like, grinded my gears. Got me going this morning. I think it's a joke. I went for a run to try and calm myself down. But yeah, like Reece said, Elliot himself has said it wasn't a red. Elliot himself it wasn't a red. It's mental. Check Rad's Twitter. Let's see what Radrazani's had to say. Normally, he normally has something to say. Sometimes went to the detriment. I can't see it here, bro. Unless it's in his replies. Let's have a look at his replies. Yeah, unfair. Radrazani's just put unfair, which he has every right to do, doesn't he? It's every right, especially when you consider that the manager's gone on the pitch, all that sort of stuff. It's a joke. He's also replied to Phil Hay saying it's sorry, I'll put my teeth in. Inexplicable. Even the unlucky Elliott said clearly it was not a foul. That's what I mean. What further proof do you need than the person who was on the receiving end of it have said it wasn't a foul? What further proof do you need? It's backwards. It is backwards. It is backwards. I know this is a proper mad analogy, but if someone gets into a scrap and the police come in and they nick them and they're in court, and then the guy who's on the receiving end says, look, he didn't do it, they're not then going to go, yeah, he did. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. We're going to send him down. It frazzles the mind, because even the person who's on the receiving end of the challenge has said it wasn't a foul, and he's laid in hospital. He was in Leeds Infirmary and he was saying this. He's had now time to think, and he's still saying no. And even after the decisions come out, he still said no. It really doesn't make sense. Rads goes on to say, it is human to commit a mistake during the game, but when we do have VAR and time to evaluate and make a rational decision, that's very hard to accept. And that was the point I'm making. At the time, okay, VAR have said it's not clear and obvious error, we'll let it slide. But we've had 48 hours now, people. 48 hours, 2 days. 2 days to look over this decision and say, right, okay, what's the facts here? Craig Paulson didn't blow for a foul, so he didn't deem it a foul. So there's one red flag. Yeah, one red flag. Harvey Elliott, the person on the end of it, has said all the way throughout, this is not a foul. Yeah, this is not a foul. Another, Heung-min Son, similar sort of situation in 2019. Actually, you're talking around the table. Actually, lads, let's think as well. Son didn't even get the ball, whereas Pascal did. And also the referee didn't blow for a foul, but he did for the Son one. So the smart move here would be, let's rescind it. Because everything's telling us that. We've got the lad tell us it's not a foul. We've got video evidence that proves that Craig Paulson wasn't going to blow, even though he said he was always given a red. I don't know how you give... Like, is the play going to continue? And then he just goes, oh, by the way, Pascal, you take that. You take that. Go on. You know what I mean? He never blew for a foul. And also, we've had a situation like this before, where Son, we rescinded his, and he didn't even get the ball. And it was claimed to be a foul whilst the game was going on. So surely we have to. Surely have to rescind this. No. This is what's mad. This is what's mad. And Radrazani has every reason to say what he has. Ziggy Jones, red card for the injury, not the tackle. Terrible decision at the time, but to uphold it in the cold light of day stinks of favouritism. 100%. And we can't be, for me, we can't. People will disagree with me. But a red card for the injury isn't acceptable. Because as I've said, you could have an innocuous challenge, nothing in it, and someone could break their leg. There'll be people in this chat now that have done something at home, totally harmless, and then ended up with a broken finger or, dislocated the shoulder or something. Totally innocuous. So for me, we can't be giving people reds on the result of it, because it can happen any time. This is what I'm saying. It can happen. It happens off the ball. Players go down off the ball. What are we going to then say? Last person to touch him is getting a red. You had some sort of impact in it along the line, so you're getting a red. It's mad. But like you said, Ziggy, you can forgive it. You can forgive it at the time. It didn't really impact the game. Leeds United's understand it. We can forgive it. But to then uphold it, especially when you consider what happened with Son, and that's why it stinks of favouritism. And that's why I believe a conversation should be had to say, well, if it was on the other foot and Rafinha was breaking through and Virgil van Dijk made the challenge, Rafinha's like, would they have rescinded it? My answer to you is simple. Yes, they would have. Yes, they would have. Because it's Virgil van Dijk, it's Liverpool, and it's Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp entered the field of play, which shouldn't be allowed anyway, and it isn't allowed. He whispered into Craig Pawson's ear, and then Pawson went and gave the red card within moments. Within moments. You know, I sometimes wish that Bielsa was a little bit more, spiky, because he, any other manager, let's say Sean Dyche or whatever, they're going on and they're grabbing Klopp. What are you doing? Get off the pitch. So I wish at times he was a little bit more like that, because it is a joke of a decision. And Ziggy's bang on. It stinks of favouritism. Stinks of favouritism. John H says they're just backing up their mates. Exactly. But they could be backing up the referee, and I get that conversation. But at the same time, what makes it worse is that they've done it before for Son. This is what's even more frustrating, is because they've done it before for Son. And he didn't even get the ball, and it was a foul on the field of play. This is what's even more frustrating. Pascal's weren't even a foul, and he got the ball. And the kid who's on the receiving end said it weren't even a foul. Why are they not looking at this information? Why are they not taking that into consideration? Honestly, it's mad. Mad. Yeah, this is bang on as well. Identical tackle. Not identical, it was actually worse. Pascal scooped it out, he's won the ball, but the Tarkowski challenge, bang, straight in on Richarlison, not even a yellow. I've just shared the images. of the Ashley Barnes one on Dallas, etc. Yeah, like Tim says here, I would like to know the opinion on the FA regarding the flying kung fu kick challenge from Burnley, from Ashley Barnes. Honestly, it's a joke. Ollie Go says, everyone hates Leeds. It's hardly a surprise. I know. But all this does is put Leeds fans back to the wall again. We like it. It's what we're used to, isn't it? It's what we're used to. We've already seen we're back in the grounds, 4 Premier League games, and everyone hates us again. And it's now reciprocated amongst the powers that be as well. So just stick it to them. Do you know what I mean? Just stick it to them. Let's get a win on Friday night. We have to have a conversation about that as well. Let me know in the chat, guys. Who's your centre-back partnership now? I've seen a few people throwing them in, getting them in there. Who's there? Do Newcastle play with Joe Linton and Alan St. Maximin? If it's 2, does that mean we go with a back 3? Because normally they go with 2. Correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. But normally they would go with 2. Joe Linton, Wilson. Wilson's out, thankfully. I think Joe Willock might be out as well, which weakens them even further. They're already weak, but it weakens them even further. If we have to go with a back 3, what we're looking at? Ayling on the right side, Cooper in the centre, Junior Firpo. Does Creswell get a start? This is the thing, man. And the players that we've brought in, they're always injured, man. So it's going to cause some real selection headaches. Yeah, Bobby just stinks of corruption. It's mad. It is mad. Reverend says it's a persecution complex. This is the person that said we're dirty, etc. I've seen your comments. Bro, be through what we've been through. Trust me, you would have exactly the same. And if you are a Liverpool fan, you already have it. So let's not even dare have that conversation, bro. Liverpool fans are already on the same vibe as us. They're already on the same vibe as us. Genuinely. So don't come with that rubbish. Don't come with that rubbish. Come correct if you're going to come, because that's a load of tosh, mate. And if you are a Liverpool fan, you have exactly the same as us, right? You have exactly the same as us. So let me get back to some of your comments. There's loads coming in. Keep them coming in, as I say. Make sure you smash a like. And if you are new here, please do subscribe. to the channel. Everyone hates Leeds. Yes, you're right, Reverend Charles Mayton, and that's the way we like it. None of us liked being club's second favourite team. I was on record, BBC Match of the Day X. I was asked the question, what are your thoughts about everyone's second favourite team? You know what my answer was? I don't like it. And it won't stay that way, because as soon as fans come in the ground, people will soon change their mind. What's happened? 4 games in, mind changed. We don't care. We love it. We thrive off it. It is what it is, genuinely. You don't understand. Zero Fox says, stick your red card. They are a joke, you know. Joe, do you know was on the FA? But I don't, mate. I don't know. All I know is it's shambolic. It is shambolic. I agree with Lauren. Yeah. There you go. Alison makes a good point as well. Cooper made an almost identical challenge 10 minutes later, but it wasn't a red. But this is what we get into, Alison, is the thing of it being an injury. We can't be red carding people on the outcome of a challenge. For me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, because anything innocuous can result in an injury, and if that's the case, then you'll have people getting red cards for nothing. Nice to see Locks in the chat. Remember, guys, before the whistle blows, we'll be back at 6 o'clock tonight, just due to the fixtures and the Europa League and all that sort of stuff. So we'll be doing that at 6 o'clock. Sophie makes a good point. Poor Pascal, just because he didn't cry. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, though. Is that a conversation that needs to be had? We've seen Heung-min Son in tears, who didn't get the ball. I'll keep mentioning it. Didn't get the ball in his challenge on Gomez. Was a foul. And he gets his rescinded. Look, we've got the Dugout football channel. I'm a Liverpool fan, and I thought it was very harsh red. He wasn't going into her, Elliot. Joke the FAR. Exactly. And that's from a Liverpool fan. Exactly, mate. You know, and when the player himself, who is injured, who, you know, Liverpool is saying he will play again this season, but he was, you know, coming out party after his loan at Blackburn, doing really well. And he's still, knowing that he has to go through rehab, he could just say nothing. But he's going out of his way to say it's the wrong decision. And even when the FA have come out, he's then said, nah, wrong again. You know? No consistency. This is the thing. That's all we want, is consistency. And it makes you wonder, had Klopp not entered the field of play, would the red card have been given? The answer to that is no, for me. Harmony says, nonsense decision. We are not liked. Still tagged as Dirty Leeds, 100%. You only had to listen to that kid you had on a few days ago, still in nappies, saying we had a dirty side. Mud sticks, sadly. Exactly. This is what I couldn't understand when I did speak to Sonny. I know a lot of you didn't like that. And I wanted to hear what he had to say in the cold light of day. A bit like the FA. I thought he would simmer down it, but he wasn't. He was still talking BS. Do you know what I mean? He was still spitting rubbish. Do you know what I mean? But like you say, that Dirty Leeds, it's Dirty Leeds, Dirty Leeds. I wanted to ask Sonny where he was from, because it seemed like he had such a hatred for Leeds United. And I wonder if he was from, say, like Manchester or his family supporters of clubs, because he's not a Scouser, was he? If his family is supporters of clubs, and everywhere you go, man, I used to see a person in Hartlepool and her dad hated us, and it's like, Hartlepool? Like, I just don't understand it. There you go. It is what it is. It's mad. It is mad. Klopp is the Mr. Man of the Premier League. Ziggy Jones says he would like to see Creswell given a chance rather than Bill at centre-back. It would be a decent game for him to come into as well. I think KG made that point as well. So we'll have to wait and see. Cooper and Ailing says, Matt the Gamer, get Creswell out there. Who's the 10% saying yes, they agree? That'll be that Gadji, won't it? It'll be, let's have a look. I'm just going to check that poll as well, just to see what it's actually saying. Let's have a look. Yeah, 90% of people don't agree with the decision, which is going to be the case. I think even if you were to put it out there to the footballing masses, not just Liverpool fans, Leeds fans, which this is heavily, populated by, of course it is. I'm a Leeds fan. Even if you were to put it out there, I think 90% would still, if not more, Afterling skill, says Joe Strauch, is rubbish anyways. Leeds won't miss him. It's not, bro. He's probably the best centre back we have. I don't know your support. I forget. I know you've been on the videos before, but he's not rubbish, mate. He was exemplary when he came on. He did fantastic when he came on. He's one of the best we're on. Corey says, gutted I'm missing before the whistle blows tonight, mate, but don't worry, I'll be around to give David some steak. Yeah, good man. Make sure you're in the comments. Make sure you join us at 6 o'clock. We've got the Irish Hotspur back by popular demand. David, he's going to be joining us. Myself, Locks, and of course, Oscar as well. I nearly forgot his name there. Dan Bob says these were the two people that were on the FA disciplinary commission, Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles. You might as well, yeah. You're right about that. You're definitely right about that. Only 73 likes on the video, guys. Let's make sure we smash that like. Yeah, never a red. It was Klopp's decision, wasn't it? And I seen someone on Twitter say the FA were never going to overturn Klopp's decision, which I thought was quite funny, because ultimately that was the pressure. That was the person that made the decision, wasn't it? Let's be honest. That was the person that made the decision. You know, we're seeing loads of people. I've seen, look, Talk Sport isn't always great on Leeds, but you've seen Ali McCoy, we've seen Trevor Sinclair. Again, these are players that have played the game, still scratching the red. It's a madness. 18 Blaze 92 over on Twitch. Hello, mate. If you are following on Twitch, please do drop me a like. And Jack Glennie as well. Nice to see you there, bro. Barry Whitehall said, I voted agree for the lols. Hey, God. Yeah, well, we'll do that. We'll do that, Bobby. I'm going to talk about that on tonight's Before the Whistle Blows as well, just to hear what we won't do loads on it because I'll have died it a death on here. But we will discuss it. We'll definitely discuss it. Dan's Microwave says, I am brew. Exactly, mate. I love I am brew. I think I'm a Scotchman at heart. I think that's where my gingerness comes from. A lot of Scots are ginger, right? That's not something I've made up. I am brew. Yeah. Right. That's the Strauch situation. Like I say, we move on to Newcastle. If they play with two up top, I think we go three at the back. I think genuinely off the top of my head now, right? I'm thinking Luke, right wing back's going to be Jamie Shackleton. Jamie Shackleton, to be fair for me, probably should be starting already. Look at this from Locks. He says he's got a new poem for tonight's Before the Whistle Blows. You best make sure you're around for that. So Leeds back at line for me is going to be this. I think Jamie Shackleton, right wing back, if they go with two up top. Jamie Shackleton, right wing back. Left wing back's going to be Stuart Dallas. And the reason I say that is because Junior Firpo, I believe, will be on the left of the back three. Luke Ayling, right of the back three. And Liam Cooper's going to be in the centre. I think that will be the 3-3-1-3. But that will be the back line. If we play with four, then it'll be Jamie Shackleton, Junior Firpo, Cooper, and Ayling. I don't think Cresswell gets his debut as much as I would like him to, because I think it's a decent game for him to come into as well. But that would be mine. That would be mine, guys. But that's Pascal Strauch. We've done that. We're frustrated. We're annoyed. Forget F off to the Football League. It's all about F off to the Premier League. That's what I think we should go with now. But guys, the guys at Team Talk have run a story this morning to end on a positive. It says that Leeds are ready to offer a giant offer to keep their star man, Calvin Phillips, from the clutches of the big guns. It's an exclusive article being put out. And it says that we are prepared to make Calvin Phillips the highest paid player at the club. Deservedly so for me, if true. And that is to keep him out of the reach of a host of Premier League clubs. We know that, City have been talking. Man United need a DM, God forbid, but they do. Fred and McTominay aren't that. Fernandinho replacement. You've got a possible Henderson replacement. So, of course, Leeds United are thinking, right, we need to protect our asset. There's nothing to say that in this new deal, if indeed we do give him a new deal, that there might be something in there like with Jack Grealish. Look, we'll let you leave, but they have to hit this release clause. which we know with Jack Grealish it was 100 million. Phillips apparently is one of the lowest paid players. Oh, sorry, I thought that was going to say in the Leeds squad, which would be thinking, but he's one of the lowest paid players in the England squad. That's of course going to be the case. Like, you don't need to. Can you imagine the money some of them players are on? And people don't think they have these conversations, but of course they do. Think about like Declan Rice, for example, who is at a similar stature of club in terms of where they are in the league. The rest of them are like City, Man United, Liverpool, playing at huge clubs. So, of course, they're on huge wages. But if you look at the likes of Declan, etc., they're even having conversations. And Declan Rice is playing in Europe. Calvin doesn't have that. Calvin doesn't have that to fall on. So there's them sort of conversations going to be having. And the fact that he's one of the lowest players, he deserves to get parity, at least with his own squad, let alone with some of the people that play in the England setup. Let's not forget him and Declan Rice are 1 and 2. Then they're on that team sheet, So, of course, Leeds United know if they want to keep him, they are going to have to reward him. They are going to have to reward him. He signed his most current deal back in 2019. We know his agent used to play for Leeds. He's a Leeds United fan, Kev Sharp. And that 5-year deal runs to 2024. Okay. But that was signed before he played for his country and even before our promotion to the Premier League. So naturally, we need to protect them assets. It did include provisions that meant when we were promoted, it included an increase. But still, he needs more than that because he deserves it. He deserves it. Our current top earners, Rodrigo, Rafinha, and Patrick Bamford. Patrick Bamford recently put pen to paper on a new deal, and it's apparently worth 70 grand a week. Calvin deserves to be somewhere close to that. Come on. 70 grand a week, really, in the grand scheme of things, when you consider the rest of the players. And like Pekin said here, and I agree with him, he's severely underpaid when you consider what the other lads are getting within the England setup, within the squad. Of course, we know we don't have humongous wages, but if Patrick Bamford's getting 70k, best believe that Calvin needs to be on that, if not more, especially when you consider what Rodrigo's doing. If you're Calvin, you're thinking, I'm integral. I'm the main man. I'm the only midfielder at times in games this season. Yet the guy who's playing in the high 8 that continues to come off the pitch at our time, he's on more than me. Phillips himself has not asked for new terms. That'd be his agent more than likely, but we wouldn't expect that from Calvin. He's not that type of guy. But they understand that Leeds and Calvin and his agent are aware other clubs are showing an interest in him. Why wouldn't they? Of course, a lot of them would snap him up if the chance arose. It goes without saying. Pep Guardiola's been speaking about him. Apparently Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Tottenham are keeping tabs on the situation. He was one of England's best players at the Euros. He won England's Player of the Year. So naturally, he deserves a pay increase for that. There's a lot of people, like Jack Glennie says on Twitch, 100k per week. I think a lot of us would say, yeah, give him that. Brian says he's worth 200k. I love this. I'm severely underpaid, but do I complain? Calvin's not complaining, but he's got to get parity, Annie. He's got to get parity with the rest of the squad. His desire has never been to leave Leeds United. Of course, he wanted Premier League football when he almost went to Aston Villa. That didn't happen. He gave us the time. We got promoted. He got his new deal. But now we need to go again. And I think it'd be a very smart move to go again. He's happy at Leeds. We're going in the right direction. And I'd sooner we get him on a new deal now than wait till the end of the season. Because if we have a season like it's looking like at this moment in time, then know that Calvin might not want to have that conversation. Do you see what I'm saying? And I know he's a Leeds lad, etc. But if we finish 17th, 16th, and I know that's really, really depressing because I think we'll finish higher than that. Of course I do. But if he finished that position, he might not want to come to the table. We know tapping up works or not. We know it happens. Someone be on that call, Calvin or Kev, we're going to give you X amount. Leads come, we want to have a conversation. You've finished bottom half. The team's been poor over the course of a season. Yeah, I don't want to enter that. So do it now. Do it ASAP. Do it today. Do you know what I mean? Do it today. Generation Boomer says, do you not remember 2004? Pay as little as possible to as many as possible. Sell those who don't like it. This is different, bro. You can't replace Calvin for me. You can't replace Calvin. And we need to get him on a new deal. He'll go eventually. Of course he will, because he'll want to play Champions League football. And if Champions League clubs are coming in for him, you can't begrudge him that. But we need to protect our asset. And if we get him on a new deal, we get him for a few more seasons. And if he does move on and we have a release clause in there, then it's all good. It's all good in the hood. Do you know what I mean? What we can't do is continue to pay him what he's getting paid at this moment in time. Especially when you consider Rafinha, Rodrigo and Bamford are all up there. He's just as important as a Bamford as a Rafinha. So we have to give him parity with them lads for sure. And I wouldn't be against giving him 100k a week. I don't think he'd need that much though. It depends what he's on now. I don't know what's Calvin on now. Does anyone actually know the figure of what Calvin's actually on per week now, or a guesstimate? Let's have a look. See what's getting said. Calvin Phillips. That's not right. Weekly salary. That's not right. 4.5k. It says here. That's not right. Don't tell me he's on that a week. That's a joke. No, he's not on that. That's not true, is it? It can't be right. It can't be. It says here 4.5k, guys. It says Jamie Shackleton's on 3.5. No, sorry, Tyler Roberts on 3.5. Calvin on 4.5. That's not right, is it? If he's on 4.5, I'd be walking out myself. Surely that's not right. When was this updated? This is 2021 active roster. Surely not. No, it can't be, because it says Rafinha's our highest paid. Bamford on 35. That's not being updated. That's not being updated, man. Because Bamford's on 70 now. And it's saying he's on 35k. That can't be right, can it? Yeah, it means Pascal's getting a higher wage. 7. Click. Dallas. Ayling. Harrison. Joe Gelda on 16.5. What's this? Joe Gelda on 16.5k. This is wrong, isn't it? Joe Geldart's on 16.5k and Calvin's on 4.5. What kind of website's that? That's Sport Track. That's surely not right. Let's have a look and see if we can find that. Different one here says Calvin Phillips earns 35 grand a week. Yeah. I mean, he was on 30k in Championship, it's saying here, 2020. 35k when he moved to Premier League, which might be the increase. Yeah, someone said there, Stephen said it's 32. There you go, 30 odd. But I can't believe that other one said he was on 4.5k and Joe Geldart's on 16.5. What's all that about? If that was true, you'd be like, nah. Like, no wonder Calvin, you'd be like, yo, you've got a kid there on 16.5k and I'm on 4.5. For sure, that's not right. For sure, that isn't right. Funny though. Total Sport says 50k. I don't know. We're all guessing. We're not privy to that information. But all I know is that he needs to be one of the top earners at the club, if not the top earner. Like Cozy said, I'd go along with this. Anything from 70 to 100k. And I think he's worth that. I think he's worth that to Leeds United. Anything from 70 to 100k for sure. Definitely not 4.5. I don't think I'd get out of bed for 4.5k. I'm joking. I'd love 4.5k. I'd love 450 a week. There you go. But listen, guys, that is your Daily Leeds Live. Thank you for everyone that's joined in. It's not going to be the only live today as well. I'll be back at 6 o'clock for Before the Whistle Blows, and I'll also be doing a watch along of the Liverpool AC Milan game. And before you do leave, as always, please smash a like on the stream. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new. That would be greatly appreciated. We're on that road to 7K, still not too far from that now. So if we can hit that before, I don't know, the end of October, that'd be great. But thank you always for your support, and I'll see you back here at 6 o'clock. Off to the Premier League and to the FA. I think that's a decent way to leave it, and hopefully Calvin will sign that new deal. Peace out.